bang, 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 bang. I'm half a teacher.
They're singing Hot for Teacher.
Oh, man.
Yes.
I'm half a teacher. Hello and welcome to the WIP, the What If podcast. That's a work in progress. I am your host, the benevolent, the beneficial, the beneful. Is that
Benign.
Beneful is a dog food.
Exactly. The beneful and benign Benadryl,
Yeah.
the Slim James, joined by my now just, we'll say, frequent co-host, Andrew the Giant.
Yellow.
Yeah.
You qualify for frequent now.
Frequency.
Uh-huh.
The frequent.
And the silent partner, Big Bees.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
You know it.
So this is a roundup of Marvel's What If series, and usually this is a non-linear review, but all this month, or all the month of April, I should say, Marvel put out 5 What If comic books based on the Age of Ultron crossover from last year. So I've done the previous 4. Issue 1, I think, what if the Wasp never existed? So we get a world where Hank Pym's a sad sack, and world full of Ultrons. There's like no humans left except for Dr. Hank Pym.
So we had no other romantic possibilities?
Apparently not. Hey.
In a world that she doesn't even exist?
Well, the weird thing about these don't exist things is that they're like walking along singing a song, and then they like have a mini stroke and fall down and die. So it's like, it's not they were wiped from history, they got wiped from history at a certain spot, and it doesn't make any sense. But
So she did exist.
for a little bit.
She just died.
Yes.
Got it.
So the spoiler alert at the end of that issue is, I think it's revealed that Giant Man, Hank Pym, is actually a robot, or mostly robot. And Ultron catches him, waits for him to come do one last coup de grace, one last attack on him as he's living in the center of the earth. And then, obviously, there's swarms of robots. He just beats the shit out of Hank Pym and erases his memory and sets him free to do it all over again. Because Ultron's got nothing better to do. When you dominate the world and there's nothing left to do, sit around being malevolent.
See, the only one left is Pym. The only one left.
In theory, there could probably be like people living in the mountains. Or
Well, I mean,
whatever.
other heroes didn't even have
Oh, they showed them all get killed.
Oh.
Swarms of Ultrons.
a shitload of them that are just all on their own trying to find Ultron, and then he just keeps beating the shit out of them and sending them back out to try again.
Whoa. So issue 2, what if Captain America hadn't been... No, what if Iron Man hadn't been there? Tony Stark, dies suddenly or whatever. They blame it on alcoholism or whatever.
Yeah.
Poop stain.
Kidney failure.
Obadiah, Zebekiah, Stain. He takes over Stark Industry. And Ultron isn't actually in this issue. It's a world run by Iron Man robots.
Well,
and they hook up a master mold to make Iron Mens.
Yes.
And it takes place in the future, so Wolverine has his gray temples.
That's how you know.
Yes, and there's a Ghost Rider, a Hulk, and a Spider-Man, and they launch one final blast, blow up the master mold. Peter Parker sacrifices himself, and we all live happily-ish ever after. Because this isn't a world where, like, humanity's wiped from the Earth. It's just, shitty. So, like, if there was an actual robot revolution, it wouldn't decimate the Earth. It would just, you'd be a semi-charmed kind of life. So have you heard that Honey Nut Cheerios is co-opted Nellie's Must Be the Money as Must Be the Honey?
Hey!
No.
Well, they have. It's just as good as it sounds. The Honey Nut Cheerio bee talking to Nellie. That's going to move some product.
I believe it.
But the multigrain Cheerios, they could partner with Third Eye Blind, multigrain kind of life.
There you go.
There you go. I want something else to get for breakfast. Yeah.
They weren't that bad.
Crystal meth and
Multigrain kind of life.
Crystal meth.
doing crystal meth and crystal meth in the bathroom. Crystal
Yeah.
and a meth now. Crystal, my mouth, and crystal meth.
Multigrain Cheerios.
Exactly, and crystal meth. Two great flavors that taste great together. They beat the master mold, etc., etc. What if Thor wasn't there? basically, the long and short of it, Black Widow picks up Mjolnir and gets some Thor powers. And what if the number 4, Captain America, wasn't there? We end up with a legion of Captain Americas because Tony Stark is forced to create his own. Eugenics. Racist. So this one, what if number 5, The Age of Ultron? What if Ultron wasn't there? Whoa! See on the flip side.
Ooh.
So our cover has the Mark I trash can Ultron, and Hank Pym looking at it quizzically. And we open with Hank Pym talking to Janet, saying, "Hey, I have a great idea for artificial intelligence." Then he has a stroke, and he's like, "Wait a second, I forgot what I was talking about." But it doesn't take time travel to get that to happen. It happens to me normally.
You stroke?
No, forgetting what I'm talking about as I'm talking
Oh, you
about.
had stroke.
They go to visit Dr. Don Blake, and it's good to see Thor acting like a doctor in his alter ego.
Sure. Yeah.
Because you see all these doctors hanging around, none of them do anything. And he describes it as kind of having a stroke. So we flash back to the universe of issue 1. Ultron living in the Earth, and Hank Pym Ultron with his jaw showing to say, hey, he's the human one. Ultron just senses a disturbance in the Force. If Ultron doesn't exist in this other world, it's sort of breaking the fabric of these 4 Earths that exist in the other issues. It's very confusing, because why doesn't this affect the rest of the multiverse? But I digress. Because you just deal with it. So he says, well, this can't happen. We're going to another universe. And,
road trip.
Yep. Ultron for all. Or may all become Ultron. Herald Ultron Infinity. So he busts into the universe from issue 2. And it has the artist Ramon Villalobos from issue 2. So it's a distinct style. And it's good to see Ultron in that style because he wasn't in issue 2. So, you get a little taste. And it's just one page. It's a nice little treat, some flavor. And actually, funny because Ghost Rider's talking about a hot dog because Wolverine smells something. You sure it's not my hot dog? Nope. It's Ultron.
Ultron probably has a distinct smell.
Yes.
Probably doesn't smell like hot dogs, though.
Yeah. Oh, man, another flying car.
Hey!
There we go. We flash to the universe from issue 3. Black Widow Thor saying, for Midgard! And it doesn't have the same panache as for Asgard. And they're fighting off a hail of Ultrons in their own right. I don't know why Ultron is carrying the other characters from these universes with him. Doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, but shh.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Maybe he just, with the Hank Pym, he just wants some friends to play with, some more people to kill. So we flash to the world from issue 4, and female Captain America, I think it's Sharon or Shannon or Sean Carter, she's there being a female Captain America, and he yoinks her as well.
Yoinks.
Yoink! Wow, Scoob. So they're back to the primary Earth of this issue, after hopping some realities, and they get translated into this issue's primary artist. We got Lady Thor, Lady Captain America, and Sea Captain Wolverine. Nautical themed.
The fish sticks guy.
Exactly. Gordon. This issue 5's Hank Pym and Janet are like, whoa! To quote Joy Lawrence. And Hank Pym's like, having deja vu. Then Dr. Doom is also on this Earth and looking at his time platform, which was referenced in issue 3 as not working by Nick Fury, and he can see into that issue. I'm not really sure. This probably had something to do with the Age of Ultron crossover where they start time traveling. Kind of goes over my head because I didn't read the whole thing. And so, boom, 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 boom. A huge explosion rocks. I think that's Dr. Doom's castle. Yeah, Mr. Fantastic standing around. And I think he senses all of these reality-disturbing riffs. And he's like, how do you fight the death of reality? Even Mr. Fantastic's confused. Good God. What chance do we have?
No.
We see Giant Man fighting a gianter Ultron. Unless they're both regular size. And Ultron's just slightly taller. They start battling. I guess they're just going on instinct to fight Ultrons. And Janet says, Avengers assemble to all of them because, it's going to happen. You have some a group of heroes hanging around an Avengers comic, somebody's going to say assemble.
Yeah.
They can't just do stuff. They have to wait until somebody says assemble.
Yeah.
So the Hank Pym from issue 1's reality, who's half robot, says, hey, you guys should go into our reality because this one's dying or something. And they go there. It ends up being sort of self-sacrifice because the Ultron from issue 1 kills the Hank Pym from issue 1, and the Black Widow, Thor, Sea Captain Wolverine, Lady Captain America, the Wasp, and this issue's Giant Man go into the reality of issue 1 and scene. It's like they tacked on a massive crossover to 4 independent issues and said, hey, everything's happening.
They're all technically all in the same story.
Yes. Yeah, apparently this was all a plan all along. I don't believe you. I think this seems very just sort of like, well, we're numbering them sequentially rather than just having a bunch of different number 1s. So for number 5, we'll just tie it all together. But it's sort of very rushed because you're going through what should be like a multi-month story arc in like 6 pages.
Yeah.
And they're all here, and I don't know why they're fighting Ultron, but they are.
And why did he drag them back from Sea Captain Wolverine? And
I don't know. See, it's hard to...
why did he come through with him?
I'm not
Ultron
sure.
brought more people to fight him.
Yes, unless that was Hank Pym, Giant Man, Hank Pym, Ultron from behind, and we couldn't see. Maybe that's it. Either way, it's sort of a mess.
Yeah.
But overall, this What If series they put out wasn't bad. You get the issues 1 and 2 are pretty good. I like the art in issue 2. Issue 2 is probably my favorite. 3 and 4, you get the superfluous costume redesigns, Black Widow, Thor, and Lady Captain America and stuff, which are hallmarks of the What If series. And this is a huge just mess of crossover and stuff. And it's good to see the What If universes sort of exist a second time around. Because most of them are just presented as one-offs, and that's the end of that. But we see that these realities might actually exist, because, as the Watcher would have us believe, these are separate realities that exist on their own. So even though we peer in for one issue's worth, there's still stuff going on there. Overall, this issue, meh, but taken as a whole, not bad. And that wraps up our Age of Ultron What If coverage. So we'll see you on the flip side.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
We got a shitty old man Wolverine
Oh, he's like a
with females.
like a sea captain.
Female Thor,
Sea captain
Well,
sea captain? What is that from? Oh, yeah.
drinking out of cups. Not my chair, not my problem. That's what I say.
So in closing, I will remind you to follow us on Twitter at the Slim James or at giant_size, theslimjames.com, giantsizeComicThings.com. The WIP What If podcast is on iTunes, on Stitcher, on YouTube, and on Vimeo. So go out there and find us. And remember, don't spend the rest of your life asking, what if?